Introduction. People from different regions, speaking different languages, and following different sects and religions inhabit any village and city. Such difference of language, region, religion, etc. is called diversity. In this chapter, we will learn about the meaning of diversity and the role of diversity in a democracy. Meaning of diversity. Diversity in society is based on factors like birth and characteristics that we acquire. Language, region, country, and gender are factors depending upon birth and leading to differences. Religion and faith are factors that depend on a person's own choice. Due to these factors, people belong to different groups, speak different languages, belong to different regions, and have different religious practices and occupations. People having different characteristics but living together in a society is termed as diversity. Some societies are more diverse, while others are less diverse. For instance, Chinese society is homogeneous in terms of language. Diversity and unity. In the 20th century, diversity has increased across the world due to intermixing. This shows that diversity does not necessarily obstruct unity as was believed in olden days. Societies like India have always experienced unity in the face of diversity in languages, regions, religions, and sects. India's freedom struggle has shown that unity can be shaped in spite of such diversity. Diversity and democracy. In the last 60 to 70 years, democracy has been established in many countries that have diversity, such as India. Democracy helps in protecting diversity, and a democratic society can handle diversity better. Diversity in a democracy leads to the formation of different groups making political demands based on diversity, based on religion, language, or region. Democracy allows people to engage in politics going beyond their own social groups. In democratic societies, different groups also come together and try to press for their common demands. Let's explore different aspects of diversity. Diversity and inequality. Diversity in a democracy often leads to competition and inequality. Let's learn about caste and gender discrimination in detail. Caste discrimination. The traditional Indian caste system divides people into upper and lower castes. Among the castes treated as lower castes, there is a high proportion of people with low occupations, incomes, and education. In the last 100 years or so, anti-caste movements have aimed at the abolition of caste. Mahatma Phule was the first to emphasize that the true measure for ending caste inequality is to end the caste system. Periyar Ramasamy Naikar and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar also worked for the abolition of the caste system. Mahatma Phule and Dr. Ambedkar insisted that so far as caste exists, backward castes must get just share in education and in government service through policies of the government. Indian democracy has dealt with caste discrimination and inequality in the following manner. Anti-caste movements created awareness about the ill effects of caste discrimination. After independence, some legal provisions came into being. For instance, the Constitution declared untouchability and discrimination on the basis of caste illegal. Special provisions are made for backward castes. Inequality between men and women. All societies in the world witness secondary treatment for women as compared to men. Women are given less power in family, lower wages, and fewer opportunities for promotions. Women also have to face violence, harassment, and atrocities in public places and at the domestic level. During last 100 years or so, many women's movements have protested this injustice perpetrated against women. Many democratic countries have made laws for reducing the inequality between men and women. Due to pressure of the women's movements in the 20th century, many countries granted the right to vote to women. In India, after independence, our constitution granted to all citizens, irrespective of gender, the right to vote right from the first election itself. To rectify the low numbers of elected women representatives, various measures have been adopted in India. Efforts are going on to provide reserved seats for women in Lok Sabha and state legislatures. In many countries, including India, there is a legal provision that there will be no gender discrimination in giving government jobs. The government also implements various programs and schemes for the all-round development of women, religious diversity and democracy. People of different religions such as Hinduism, Islam, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, Christianity and Zoroastrianism live in India. They celebrate their respective festivals and follow their religious rituals. Many times, people also participate in each other's religious functions. But sometimes, differences of opinion, competition, and tension arise between religious groups. In such situations, government has to intervene and regulate the situation by adopting measures that allow every person to adopt a religion of his or her choice and faith, and follow the religion in worship and prayers. This is called freedom of religion. Treat persons of all religions equally. Protect minority religious groups and ensure their development. Diversity and share in power. When different groups aspire for power, distribution of power correctly among them becomes important, as sharing of power ensures good interrelationship and strengthens democracy. There are different methods of distributing power among different groups based on the situation in the country concerned. A federal system of government is adopted when there is linguistic and regional diversity. The Constitution creates governments at the regional level and decides the powers of the regional level governments. This makes it possible for people from each region to take decisions as per their needs. India has adopted a federal system.